Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. In this episode of GrapeSEED Friends, we have another veteran as our guest. Today we welcome Christina, a GrapeSEED school owner and teacher in China. Welcome to the podcast, Christina.
Hi, thank you, Adam, for inviting me to this podcast. I'm really honored to share some of my experience here.
This is going to be great. So let's get started with some basic questions. How long have you been teaching GrapeSEED, and what were some of your first impressions of the curriculum?
Well, I started teaching GrapeSEED in January 2014, I believe. And so it's been over 7 years now.
Wow.
I wasn't a big fan of teaching English to young children, to be honest, at the time. But when I first observed a GrapeSEED class and then went for the initial, I think at that time it was 5-day training, I felt I was suddenly quite enlightened because it was nothing like what I imagined. It was like the door was open to the magical land of Narnia, really. Because through the training, I start to understand actually what language acquisition is all about. And just looking at the work and the effort that went behind the design of this curriculum and just learning about the research-based course design, just everything just won me over instantly. And more importantly, I was very inspired by the trainer at the time that was Sharon. Sharing that education and missional heart and mind that went behind everything. So that was really new for me and inspiring for me. And so instantly, I started to change my mind. Maybe I should try this.
Yeah, the magical land of GrapeSEED, but you don't have to crawl through an old wardrobe to get to it.
That's right. It was given to me instantly.
Well, over the 5-day training.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite unit or material?
I think I have a lot of favorite units, and it's really hard to make a choice. But I think one of my favorite units will have to be Unit 2, I will say.
Okay.
Yeah, just because it's packed with a lot of actions and fun activities, and I found the songs are very catchy and really vibrant. So students are very easy to catch on to that. I mean, even the teachers. And so I think Unit 2 is one of my favorite units.
Okay. How about a material?
I think one of my favorite materials will actually be the dancing pig, because the reason for that is because whenever I teach this story, it always inspires students to think of others and take note of the needs of others around them. So, for example, some of the questions that we could ask would be, what can you, your mother is sad. If your mom is sad, what can you do to make her happy? And so it inspires a lot of thoughts of my students, what they can do to make their parents or, mother or father happy. And so I just want them to know that actually the story actually helps the students to know that even though we're all different, but we always have something to give to someone. We always have something to offer to help others. So I think it's a very good story. Mm-hmm.
I like it too.
And also the dancing pig, that page where the dancing pig was, really going hardcore, like dancing. It always triggers a lot of great dance moves amongst my students. And I learned to actually do kind of beatbox because I have to kind of provide some sort of music for my students to dance on. And so I always have fun with that one.
Not to embarrass you too much, you want to give us some of that beatbox here on the podcast?
It goes something like this, okay? So I hope there's no beatbox professionals amongst the GrapeSEED teachers, but it goes like this.
Okay.
So something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I never thought of the dancing pig, that dancing page with like a hip hop beat to it, but you might have inspired some teachers to tell the story a little differently. I love that.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I'm not going to get a lot of emails about, please don't say you're doing beatbox.
Also, I think you can rest easy that there aren't any beatbox professionors listening to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast is my guess. But you never know. If you are a beatbox professional, please email the show at mailcarrier@grapeseed.com.
Yeah, I could be inspired by professionals as well. I can perfect my skills. Why not?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your school life. How many classes do you teach, and what units are you currently on?
Um, I'm currently teaching only two classes, as I devote most of my time to staff training and the management of the center because we started out this school in Hohaj ourselves. And so, yeah. And I started out these two classes at the same time because as as students go higher up in the units, we tend to lose some of the members. And so I thought it was easier if I had two classes and, later on in the units, I could join them together. So these are the two classes I've been teaching. And these are the first two classes that ever existed in the city that I'm working in. So, so we are at the moment on unit 13. Yeah.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.